But I was thinking about when I started using the internet, which was probably about 98, 99, I started actually contributing to it. And right from the word go, people were trying to sell stuff. And where you've got people trying to sell stuff and you've got people trying to buy stuff, pretty rapidly you get people trying to market stuff in between it. And when you think about what even the earliest social medias were very good at, it was promotion. If you think about MySpace was about marketing music, promoting music. And then we have things like blogging, which you could argue was all about promoting ideas. And today we've got Twitter and Facebook, where actually you could argue we're all about promoting ourselves. You always get the kind of smart aleck response that, do I really need to know what you're having for breakfast? And I think if you ask Kellogg's marketing team, yes, we would like to know what you're having for breakfast, and when, and where, and how. So all of these things become, all of this kind of stuff where we talk about self-promotion is actually very, very valuable in understanding people's behaviour. We're seeing new business models in influence emerging. We're starting to understand influence in a little more detail. We used to think it was all about the biggest and the largest numbers, and now we're understanding through behavioural economics and cognitive science how influence actually acts and works, and how we tend to move in flocks rather than following the big idea always. So we've got new methodologies emerging. We've got things like Groupon, which has social ambitions baked in. And we're trying to identify through all of this things like how to seed more effectively. We can identify where to start our campaigns, who to promote to. But I think even more than that, we're starting to move into a world where we're starting to make with rather than do to. So where you might have thought about your models in social as being a way in which we can promote stuff to people, start thinking about how you can make that promotion with the people for whom it's intended. The only other thing I'd like to add, because we've started a little late, so I'd like to get on to Luke quite quickly, is that I think this whole social media revolution is still very early. So if you're coming to this quite late, don't worry, you haven't missed too much. I think of it in terms of starting around 2005 as the moment in which this revolution started to happen. Now there's a cycle in technology that is replicable. You see it over and over again. If you have, look at the streets of London in 1900, you won't have seen a single car. If you looked at the streets in 1920, you won't have seen a single horse. So that kind of transformation happens over a 20-year period quite consistently. So I'll take us back to this 2005. 2005 is the year in which MySpace got more page impressions than Google. It was the year for me in which social media started to become ubiquitous. And when things become ubiquitous, that changes. When everyone's using it, when everyone knows about it, that starts to change the way in which we act. So if 2005 was the start, we're only 8 years into this journey. And as Luke pointed out to me earlier, Facebook is now 9 years old. So we're just coming into what the real impact of all the change that's being driven by social is going to have on us. Well, social media is a revolution that changes whatever it touches. It's changing what we trust, it's changing the role of brands, it's changing the role of media. It's changing how we do our shopping, how we research our purchases, what we watch on television and when, what we buy in stores, who we talk to and who we trust. And today we're going to learn about how some of those changes are playing out. And we're starting with the £800 gorilla of social media, Facebook.